free. Like, he looks really good at what he does now. Those couple games I've watched.
Yeah,
and I worry
he's not
about
a
that
scorer. He's a guy that should score in the floor. You don't run plays for an Aaron Gordon. You
Oh,
want
no,
him just to
you don't
be an athlete.
But when you have Aaron Gordon, that unlocks the other kid.
Right.
I think it's his third year in the league, but he only played last year for the first time, back injury or whatever. I wanted the Nets to trade up to get him. Porter is sick. He's really freaking good.
To me, the question is, do they wait on him or do they try to cash him in this offseason and get that bona fide scorer in there? I'd love to see Dame finally be like, look, fuck it, this ain't happening here.
Right.
And him go to, because now you're like, yeah, they can win the whole thing there. But I think for Denver, and I love Jokic, he's a top 10 guy, but you need that killer scorer. And I don't think they have that at the end of games. It becomes a make or miss league in the last 2 minutes, and I just feel like they'll miss more times than the elite opponents will.
Yep. Yeah, I gotta agree with that.
Yeah.
I just think I think the problem is the level of defense in NBA playoffs turns teams into jump shooters, and most teams can't jump shoot against those type of defenses. But the Nets can. Nobody wants to get in a jump shooting contest with us. We're just that loaded, and we talk about the big three, but now that all these other problems have been fixed, I'm really enjoying Landry Shamet. I'm really enjoying.
Yeah, dude, I was wrong. He's ugly as fuck, but he's definitely my CYD was telling me to wait on him, and I didn't have much patience for him early.
CYD,
he turned it around.
My guy.
Yeah. Hey, what do you think of the court? You like the old school court?
No.
You don't like it?
It just feels out of place. I don't like. I think the NBA has become over-branded in a certain way.
Dude, the uniform thing bothers the shit out of me. I turn on a Nugget. I'm like, where do these red uniforms come from for the Nuggets? What is this? Why am I watching a Laker game and the Lakers are wearing baby blue? What is this? The Celtics are wearing black. You're the fucking Celtics. You wear green at home, you wear white on the road.
Exactly.
I wish it was back to that.
I haven't seen them wear green in a long time. Every
it
time I watch
really
the Celtics,
pisses me off.
So
there's just too many uniforms.
I was happy with the herringbone. The original herringbone court, I felt
that was the best one.
I felt like this is our home. It was different from everybody else's.
Right.
And I felt like when I would go there, this was our home. And then I went to a game, and my kid doesn't really know. My son is still very young. He's 8. He's still figuring out sports, and in a world where sports is not as important to him as it was to us. Just because video games are ridiculous.
Right.
And he walks on the court. It says, "Daddy, is today a college game?" And it wasn't a college game. It was. We would just.
I hate the court they have this year.
Yeah, it's too cartoony. It's too. I just want to feel like I'm home when I walk in.
The original one was gorgeous. I don't know why they switched it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the marketing people don't have enough jobs to do, and so they come up with these court designs and they spend Joe size money. I don't get it, man. I really don't. I want to feel like I'm home. And I remember one time they experimented with the lights because the hockey people were complaining. And, you weren't... I felt like they were fools for trying to make the Islander fans happy. They were never going to be happy. They were never going to... I almost wish the Islanders went to Kansas City, even though I'm a fan, just to shut those people up because they came from Long Island and they acted an ass in our building, yo. I was not happy with that. But then they made the lights come on in a basketball game because they couldn't adjust it back from hockey. And I've never walked around Barclays Center and I could see the floors and all the things I don't want to see in that building because they changed the
theater lighting is perfect.
Yo, I like the Broadway lighting. I like it I'm at a play or something because the only thing that matters is what's happening on the court.
Exactly.
All the other shit doesn't matter. Anyway, last thing from this week, right? I'm like I'm a lot like Kevin Durant on Twitter. Except I'm free. Like Kevin Durant, if he was free on Twitter, he might be me. And you want to know what? You're a lot like Michael Rappaport. Who is also a free thinker on Twitter. You're not as annoying as he is, but
was.
Oh, right, was. He's become someone new now.
I've gotten older.
No, you've said some shit where I've had to defend you. I've had to, like, people have DM'd me, and I've had to go, yo, I've gotten to know the guy. I know him in real life now. I call him a friend now. He just talks shit. That's just
right.
who he is. You have to accept that Bam talks shit. And me the same way. Like if you push me to a certain level, I'm gonna call you all kinds of things way worse than fucking Durant called what's his name. And I was talking to my gay cousin. Everyone has a gay cousin, I guess. We don't call him that around here. We just call him Jerry.
Right.
And I was like, I asked him. I said, are you offended by what Kevin Durant said? Another basketball fan, Brooklyn Net fan as well. And Jerry was like, I hate when your people, us breeders, make it feel like they're protecting us, where they're making gay people more ostracized. He's like, and he said the best thing that I wish I had tweeted. He was like, by making it a thing that he called him a cocksucker, excuse any ears that are offended by hearing that. He's like, that makes it, he's like, you never think twice when you call your friend a motherfucker. Right, and I was like, you know what? You're right. Should anyone feel offended that they called someone a motherfucker? And he's like, I want to live in a world where I can suck cock and it's not a big thing, and that everyone thinks of it in the same way that they think about being a motherfucker. That's not even
the thing. Is the NBA had to address it.
Of course,
they champion social movements. They had to do something. They had to do something. This is, and you see me lose my shit on Twitter all the time, but I believe that everyone should be able to live the way they want to live and be respected no matter how they've chosen to live their life. I will fight for someone's right to live their life the way they want to, with dignity and pride in who they are and how they operate, right? What I won't do is let people like Michael Rappaport, who basically did the worst thing that white guys tend to do. They want to come and hang out. They want to be a part of it. This was one of America's first. Probably a politically incorrect word now, but I'm gonna throw it out there. Wiggers. Right.
And we all loved him for it. He's been in all the great black movies. He's the white Mike on all of those films. He built a career being that guy. And now you mean to tell me a private conversation where me and you have had DMs back and forth where we've said all kinds of shit to each other and we're still doing a podcast right fucking now?
Yeah, that was a weak move to put it out there.
Right? And I'm telling you.
What was his motive? What was the motive? You want to get Kevin Durant suspended? Did you want to get him canceled?
Yes.
Was that the motive?
Let me tell you, he was, because the back and forth comes from December. Remember when Kevin Durant did the Charles Barkley interview where he just was like, he just gave him one-word answers?
Yeah,
right? He calls Kevin Durant weak for that, right? And all this other stuff. And Kevin Durant curses him out for calling him weak, right? And what struck me the most kind of reading that was that you don't just go from fuck you and escalate to whatever he's at now automatically. Like, me and you had been talking for like 3 years before but we've both told each other to fuck off and fuck you. And it didn't start day one that way. I have seen videos of this dude, Michael Rappaport, calling someone a cocksucker. I've seen it. He's said all kinds of shit about the sitting president at the time.
Yeah, the whole Barstool shit.
Exactly. And you want to know what? He did the worst thing that a supposedly cool white boy could ever do. You penetrated the force field, you were brought into the circle, you were talking the talk, and then you expose it. Can I,
dude? That's why my name is not on Twitter, and it never will be, because I do enjoy talking shit. I don't take the platform that seriously.
Right.
Now, when I first got on there, I was an idiot. I mean, some of the stuff I said, like I remember going back and reading it and being like, "Oh my god, like holy shit, this was ridiculous." I stumbled upon a tweet I had to Lisa Ann, the porn star Lisa Ann.
Mm-hmm.
She had tweeted out that a 70-year-old couple recognized her and told her that they love her work. And my response to it was, how did they recognize you without a load on your face? And that's funny, but that's like a ridiculous thing to say to somebody. Like, I wouldn't say that in real life. Like, I totally admit I'm a Twitter fingers guy. But like, you can say something
that's not
politically
funny.
Off, you can say something off color and not mean it, but like, just like that, if I call somebody a cocksucker, I mean you're an asshole, but right. it can offend people,
right? And I could see how that could mean, right? But as as a gay dude told me,
I can't survive that. Like if somebody tries to cancel me.
Nah, you listen. I tweet with my name, my government name, with the thought in mind that whatever I'm gonna say on this platform, which is a meaningless platform, right? But whatever I'm going to say on it, I want to be able to feel good that at that moment, that's how I felt. And I stand by it as a person. And that's why I did it. But if I was you, I firmly would have had a nickname. I would have stayed Don Magic Draper.
Right. So I'm glad that my old account got suspended and deleted, mm-hmm. because I was like, all right, this is just a fresh start. But still, I know myself. Like,
I could be a better guy now.
Yeah, I could be a little bit better. I grown up. I got when I was on the app. Some of this. I mean, I don't even want to say some of the stuff.
You were young too. You're a young dude. Like I'm older than you, so.
I'm not that young though. That's the thing. Like, so you start realizing, like, yeah, I'm not really a kid. Like, I can't get away with this anymore.
Man,
and I'm still an asshole. I'm gonna tell you, like, Brooklyn Beat, I'll always be an asshole to him.
I've come to like Brooklyn Beat, man. Like, I'm not against that guy. Because I think when we sucked, all of us were just kind of groping around in the dark, trying to figure out when we're not gonna suck. And right now, because we're so good, this is the most Nets Twitter has ever gotten along. And if you're still holding beefs from old Nets Twitter, and I'm not talking about you, Bam, then you have a problem, because this team just brings me nothing but joy right now.
He's like a Skip. And look, he's a Skip Bayless. That's what he is. He's doing it. Look, either he's really weird or he's just a smart guy who knows how to be deliberately, push people's buttons. And when I see him, like, other fans interact with him, I'm like, why are you taking the bait? This guy's clearly trolling you.
Yeah. Well, Nets Daily loves him, so I guess that's the
he's an asshole. He's an asshole too, Robert Windrum. And that's why my name's not on there, because I want to be able to tell Robert Windrum he's an asshole.
Yeah, I tell him he's an asshole with my real name. Right. And he but I think he knows he's an asshole, so you got to give him credit.
I met him at a game once. It was weird.
You
yeah.
did? Like so my last thing on this Kevin Durant thing, which is also kind of like on this Windrum thing, is that people were trying to say that Kevin shouldn't stoop low with these lower people. One person on ESPN said, Kevin's an eagle. Why is he trying to fly with pigeons? Let me tell most people something on who frequent these things or who think they're celebrities. I've worked for celebrities for the last 20 years of my life. The biggest celebrities, right? And I'm not afraid to say, you can Google me, I work for Jay-Z, I work for Diddy, etc., etc. I hear